For many people, narcissists are a complicated and usually irritating aspect of life. Navigating their conduct can be emotionally draining whether you come across one in a relationship, at home, or at business. Knowing how narcissists behave and what influences them can be helpful, particularly if you deal with someone who seems to be exempt from responsibility. Certainly, narcissists can inflict great psychological and emotional damage on people around them. For everyone in their path, their bloated egos, lack of empathy, and relentless demand for adulation produce a poisonous environment. If your aim is to get past their barriers and inflict damage, though many people are unaware that narcissists are also rather weak in several respects. We will explore 3 methods you might profoundly influence a narcissist in this post, revealing some of the secrets they would rather you not know. First of all, one should realize that narcissists' confidence and superiority are usually a front-stage performance. Though they provide an impression of invincibility, underneath that surface lurks a brittle ego susceptible to rejection and criticism. Even if their image is built on lies or inflated success, narcissists are quite fixated on how others view them and continually seek to keep a good impression. They get rather insecure when this picture is under jeopardy, challenging a narcissist's false image and so destroying the illusions they have worked so hard to construct will help to undermine them. A narcissist gets their kicks from praise and encouragement. Whether it's via social media, their work life, or personal connections, they painstakingly create their character and depend on outside approval to feel significant. Thus, you gradually remove the basis of their self-worth when you explicitly question or reject their story. Sometimes it's more successful to gently and regularly challenge their version of events, pushing them to face their contradictions than to yell accusations or engage in a direct confrontation. Particularly when it makes them appear stupid or less capable to others, narcissists detest getting caught in a lie. Their responses to exposure are sometimes strong, ranging from total denial to fury. Still, this response amply illustrates how profoundly the truth you have found influences others. This is when you most damage them, by forcing them to face the reality they have spent so much time dodging. When others see through their facade, narcissists detest since it forces them to face the reality that their whole concept of self is based on unstable foundation. You thereby damage them not only by revealing their falsehoods, but also by questioning their fundamental sense of identity. Once their ego is under attack, their capacity to manage and control the circumstances lessens, which is a great weapon to employ should you be seeking to guard yourself from more damage. Refusing to interact with a narcissist on their terms is another way you damage them. Expert manipulators, narcissists mostly use dragging people into their drama as their weapon. They will frequently cause conflict or elicit emotional reactions only to maintain themselves at the center of attention. They thrive on both positive and negative attention. Denying a narcissist that attention is among the worst things you can do to them. You essentially deprive them of the gasoline they need to keep their sense of superiority by remaining cool, refusing to be provoked, and disengaging from their attempts to control you. Whether through adoration, resentment, or fear, narcissists yearn for validation, and you are depriving them of the emotional vitality they consume when you fail to provide it. Often called gray rocking, this strategy entails trying to appear as emotionally passive as you can in front of a narcissist. You answer their attempts to agitate you with flat, boring responses, and you provide them no personal information to use against you. The narcissist finds this extremely annoying, since it robs them of the involvement required to experience strength and control. Gray rocking not only damages a narcissist, but also helps you detach yourself from their poisonous influence, since with time they will often lose interest in someone they cannot control or irritate. This type of psychological resistance denies individuals the emotional highs they yearn for, therefore rendering them helpless. At last, one of the most effective methods to undermine a narcissist is by reaching real success and happiness apart from them. Though they go to tremendous efforts to hide it, narcissists are typically profoundly jealous of others. Their urge to feel better means they cannot stand to see others flourish, particularly if they believe they have been left behind. Whether your success in life comes from your job, relationships, or personal growth, that makes the narcissist face their own shortcomings. Though they could act out, try to minimize your accomplishments or undermine your success, finally they cannot take the idea of someone they view as less or surpassing them. This method especially hurts a narcissist, since it emphasizes their own lack of fulfillment. Though they show confidence and self-importance, most narcissists are quite insecure and sad. Though their relationships are generally shallow and their inner lives are full of frustration and discontent, they may enjoy surface success, money, power, or position. On the other hand, it reminds you sharply of what the narcissist lacks when you create a life full of real purpose, love, and achievement. Seeing someone else reach the inner contentment they so sorely yearns for is a terrible blow, since none of manipulation or control will provide it. Of course, hurting a narcissist isn't always the greatest line of action, particularly if your objective is to get out of a bad circumstance. Remember that narcissists do not react in the same manner that healthy people do when hurt. Their responses can be erratic and they often lash out, perhaps violently, when their ego suffers. Confronting a narcissist can be dangerous, particularly if they control you in any capacity. That is, either emotionally, financially, or professionally. Therefore, you must give your safety and well-being top priority over any need for retaliation or revenge. Often the best approach to guard oneself against a narcissist is to establish clear limits and, if at all feasible, cut off any communication. The more distance you can create between yourself and their poisonous influence, the better. Narcissists live on disorder, manipulation, and control. Knowing their shortcomings can be rather helpful, even if you decide not to interact with a narcissist on their level. It helps you to understand their perspective and behavior, thereby enabling you to guard against their attempts to control or damage you. Ultimately, narcissists are profoundly insecure people hiding under a facade of grandeur. Their delicate sense of self-worth depends on the people around them. They are afraid of being judged as defective or unimportant. You not only shield yourself from their poisonous conduct, but also attack the very basis of their personality by confronting their lies, refusing to interact with their manipulations, and leading a life full of real happiness and achievement. Still, one should use these techniques carefully. Particularly vengeful, narcissists may respond violently when they feel threatened. Above all, protect yourself. Always keep in mind that living your life on your own terms, free from their influence and control, is the most effective approach to damage a narcissist.
I hope everyone is having a great day. It's great to have you here. Today I want to talk about something very important for your healing, seeing your own worth. I read a comment not long ago that really spoke to me. The experience made me think about whether narcissists really want us back after a breakup. I couldn't find the exact quote, but what they said led to a very important conversation that I want to share with you today. A lot of you may think the narcissist doesn't want you back. It's a normal reaction, especially after being put down and having your feelings manipulated. If they don't seem interested in you, you might think that they're okay without you, which can have a big effect on your self-esteem and sense of worth. We will talk about why this belief exists, what it means for your healing, and how to change your point of view so that you can see your own worth. If this topic speaks to you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more helpful tips on how to deal with relationships and find out more about yourself. Let's help each other on this path to health and strength. I want to stress how important it is to know your own worth. Narcissists don't pick people at chance, they choose their victims with care. My goal is to help you become the person you were before this situation. We talk a lot about healing and understanding narcissistic behavior on our show. If a narcissist saw you as top-notch supply, it means they thought you were very important. To be top-notch, someone had to be kind, loving, and helpful. Someone who helped others grow and improve. Since you met, you've been a big part of their life and helped them grow. You are a true empath if you consistently provide such high-quality help. You need to understand that narcissists love this kind of approval because it makes them feel good about themselves and makes them look down on us. This changes the jobs. At first, they thought we were better than them, irrelevant of our looks, status, or wealth. They manipulated us in many ways, such as by making us feel sorry for them or by charming their way into our lives to connect with us. There were times in this relationship when we were very important in their lives. Narcissists leave us when they think they've taken everything they can from us, even if they don't know we have something else to offer, a hidden power. They treat us like we don't exist, like we're not in their lives at all. But you should remember the person you were before this happened and get back in touch with that person. I'm focused on this process of getting better and accepting myself. Some people might follow me more if I talked about selfishness in a more normal way, but I won't talk about things I don't believe in or agree with. I'm here for people who understand my point of view, who are sensitive, who are drawn to this message. I've become very good at judging things, especially when it comes to understanding people who respond. Each comment is closely read, and I try to answer when I can. You should know this, though, narcissists have a hard time when they lose you. They used us as a ladder and stepped on us to get where they wanted to go. However, once they threw us away, they started to stumble. Still, a lot of people fall for what they see on social media. It is important to know that narcissists use social media to make us angry. I've seen posts that were clearly meant to make people angry, showing a new partner or style that's just like how I used to be. I decided not to respond, and in the end I blocked their access to my social media. It's important to understand that narcissists need us more than we need them. They turn things around by putting their own worries on us, which makes us feel like we need them. The truth is that it's the other way around. They would die without us. There is no one else who can give them what we did, a one-of-a-kind gift that fit them perfectly. Which is why our input is so unique and important. Even though they try to find someone else, their big egos and false beliefs cause them to fail. What I want to share with you is what I understand. I want you to understand how valuable your unique gift is and why it's hard for the narcissist to take it away. It's very important that you understand how unique you are. Do we agree with each other? I hope so very much. Narcissists really do have trouble when you're not around. These people have used you as a starting stone to get ahead in life. It hurts them a lot when you decide to pull away or cut ties. They can't just send late-night texts or scroll through social media to make up for the time you spent apart. Your withdrawal keeps you safe and stops them from helping you as normal. People may try to take your place, but no one else can do what you did. It's not how tall you are, but how much love and support you gave. It's important to know that real love is hard to find. There's a chance it will only happen once or twice in your life. When you love someone deeply like that, they can't find anyone else like you. You don't find love every day. It's important to remember what you brought to the relationship, even though you were flawed: love, care, understanding and kindness. You were the best if you gave it your all, a love that only happens once every blue moon. For an ego, I was that one in a million love. This is why, even after 4 years of trying to hurt my image and get in trouble with the law, they tried to get in touch through fake profiles. When they called me again not long ago, I lied and said I was someone else, which finally made them stop. They've broken my life so many times and given me so much trouble. Don't forget that if they cared that much about you, it won't be easy to move on. It doesn't matter who comes and goes from their life. They will always remember the bond you made with them. People often think about the loves they've had in the past, and you are always in their minds. This message is for people who have been abused, used, or mistreated in partnerships. It's totally normal to be having a hard time with this understanding right now. These words would not have made sense to me 5 years ago either. It can take a while for the truth of these events to sink in. You might be using a Hoover vacuum one day and suddenly remember a YouTube video from years ago that said something similar would happen. The number of times those statements come true is amazing. Be patient is the key. Do not think about whether you will ever use a Hoover. Instead, go about your daily life. Remember that you used to be their whole world and that they will never forget seeing you. It's important to know that narcissists often lie about being happy and successful to trick other people. But don't believe them when they show off pictures of expensive trips or talk about how great their life is. If you look up narcissist vacations online, you'll find a lot of stories about people who had bad times traveling with narcissists. I had terrible holiday experiences with a narcissist and a psychopath that ruined the whole trip. But going back to those places with an old friend, without the bad vibes, was some of the best travel I've ever had. It's proof that a narcissist's happy exterior hides deep-seated sadness. Leveling is a technique that narcissists use to bring other people down to their level of unhappiness. They feel good about themselves when they make you unhappy or sad. But I want you to know that there is hope, even though things are hard right now. Things are going to get better. You'll see how much time you wasted with the narcissist when you look back. You may want them back at first, but as time goes on, you'll want to stay away from them. Not long ago, I laughed about how I could throw an egg at a psychopath. Now I know they just enjoy it. Not giving them that pleasure is better. You need to know how much you're worth and start working on growing and finding out more about yourself. Don't forget who you were before you met the narcissist. They picked you because they thought you were useful, not because you were easy to catch. They saw something unique in you that other people might have missed. On Facebook, people in my area would send me notes like, "Hi, how are you?" before I met the narcissist. Based on what I knew from the past, it seemed fishy. I've talked about it in other films. I was wary and didn't get involved much because I thought it might be a trick. It turned out that the narcissist sent those texts to see if I would talk to other women. A sneaky way for them to see how loyal I was. After that, they broke into my phone. During our whole relationship, I never looked for another woman on social media. Well, I did look up a co-worker's page once, which got us into a big fight. As soon as I learned that someone had hacked into my phone, I knew the narcissist had been following me around the whole time. Where else could they find someone as committed as I was in this day and age of social media? That's why they should have chosen me. I love, trust, and belong to you. I give my all when I'm with someone. I'm honest and don't lie. I care and show love. These are the things I brought to the narcissist's table. Maybe some of your own life fits into my story. Take a look at the narcissist's new partner. They could have also hacked their phone. How much time does this new person have before they start texting or looking at other people on social media? Most likely, that relationship didn't last, or if it did, the narcissist had to settle for less than what they had with me. You need to believe in a greater power, yourself, and your gut. People who are kind and loving are sometimes taken advantage of, but there is always a bright side to every bad situation. It's about finding a small bit of hope. The narcissist lives in the same world as us, but they miss the things they loved about us all the time and find it hard to deal without us. Even though they look happy, it gets harder for them to keep up that act as they get older. It's like going from HD TV to black and white TV or from first class to economy. The level of their life goes down. For people with kids, the link is stronger, but narcissists have a hard time making real connections and instead rely on superficial supply. In the end, what they really miss is the mental and emotional link they used to have with us, which they can't get back. Narcissists have a hard time without you. They'll feel the loss very strongly, especially if you haven't talked to them at all. You should have stopped talking to them in order for them to really understand how their actions got you into trouble. If they text or ask you to get back together, don't answer. Some people might disagree, but I think we have the right to talk to them about how they're acting. Telling them straight can help us move on. Although it's usually not a good idea, telling a narcissist their one can help them see how they act. This is especially true if they don't already know. This realization might be important. It's important to know what you're worth. Take some time to think about what makes you valuable. Do not judge other people by what you are. No matter if you think that's because of God or the world, you are unique. Your voice, your eyes, and your DNA are all unique to you. They won't be able to find anyone else like you. It's true that your soul is worth more than money. The core of who you are can't be beat by a fancy item or an expensive surgery. This channel is all about getting in touch with the part of you that goes beyond material things. Without you, they're definitely having a hard time. Because of what they did, things are so difficult that I don't think they'll really try to reach out. Getting a simple "Hi, how are you?" after everything I did felt so fake. It wasn't because they really felt bad, they were just testing the waters, which is why I didn't hold back in my answer. This has shown me that their efforts to get back together, even after years, are desperate. They won't find anyone else like you or me. After our talks, which felt more like chats between friends, one member who was skeptical at first started to see the truth. His trip helped him understand things better and even got him closer to his faith. It's important that you find your own proof and signs to see the truth. Narcissists finally have to deal with consequences after years of being mistreated and even having children involved. Even though they were having problems, they were able to stay in touch because of a child. However, the narcissist's dreams for a reunion were quickly dashed. The hard truth is that they'll look for what they had with you all their lives and never find it. It's a never-ending, pointless quest. That's fine if this is hard for you to understand, especially while you're healing. Narcissists are mostly bad people. There may be a few good ones among them. It's important to see them as they really are, without any rose-colored eyes. This will keep your heart safe and stop giving them the attention they want. They often start wanting you again when you pull away, first in a quiet way and then in a more public way. Remember that a narcissist rarely leaves